Hello guys, this is Wasso's Videos coming with you for another Secrets of the Force video. Today I want to talk about Anakin's former apprentice, Ahsoka Tano. Now, just a little background I want to get out of the way is that in the Clone Wars movie and in the TV show, they established quickly that they have a very close relationship, and Anakin fought for her and protected her throughout the whole expansion of that series until it got canceled when Star Wars Rebels started coming up. So these two characters were very close together and had a very close bond. The problem is that I wasn't really sure how they were going to get rid of Ahsoka Tano because she wasn't in episode 3 or in any of 4, 5, and 6. So it didn't really make sense where they were going to go with this. What I thought was going to happen was that it was either going to be that she was going to die in some kind of accident because of the Jedi Order, which would help Anakin hate the Order more and bring him closer to the dark side. Or what I thought was going to happen is that Anakin would accidentally kill her in some way, and then he would start blaming himself and getting angry at himself, and which would ensue more dark thoughts. And regardless of how it was going to happen, it was going to be Anakin collapsing in on himself, and he was going to get more frustrated with himself. So I knew that was the kind of role that she was going to play, similar to Padme's role. And then season finale of season 5 of the Clone Wars came out, and suddenly we finally knew what would happen, is that Ahsoka Tano was getting blamed for the wrongdoings of another Jedi and was being accused of being a terrorist, and she was removed from the Order, but Anakin did his own investigation and found her to be innocent. So they asked her to come back, and she no longer believed that the Jedi Order was doing good and was doing pure things. So she left the Order. But now in Star Wars Rebels, we get to see her again as one of the leaders of the rebellion. You weren't sure who the informant was to the Ghost crew in season 1, but at the end you find out that it's Ahsoka Tano and that she was one of the main leaders at the beginning of the rebellion, which is pretty cool. We know from pictures that her and Vader will eventually face off, and that's the primary thing I want to talk about today, is her versus Darth Vader and where I want Ahsoka's story to go, because I think it could be used very powerfully and could be really a cool story for Ahsoka. Now, before they actually battle, I want the whole episode to be about Ahsoka. And the first thing she will do is have a pull from the Force, and she will travel to Tatooine, and she's going to talk to Obi-Wan. And they're going to be alluding to Darth Vader during their whole conversation, and Obi-Wan will be alluding to Luke, and he will never actually say that Luke is there. He's just going to be alluding to someone who's a Jedi that will be able to save the day at some point, and that he will be able to defeat Darth Vader. I want Obi-Wan to say something along the lines of, "You cannot turn him. There's only one person who can change his fate now. Your path is to create a group to support the person who will turn him and create hope in the galaxy." That's the role I want Ahsoka to be, is that I want her to be the person who established the rebellion. And it wasn't to kill Vader or defeat Vader, but I want it to be a kind of love for Vader that she knew she always had, and that she knew she had to do this if she wanted to bring Anakin back to the good side. That's what I want it to be. I don't want it to be an act of hate, because I think it's creating an opposing force to Vader seems like it would be just creating war, but it would really be to just be helping Luke to save Vader / Anakin. Then there will be some situation where Vader captures the crew of the Ghost, and Ahsoka must come to save the day. She's the only one who got the message, or something along those lines. I came up with this idea playing the first Star Wars The Force Unleashed game, where Starkiller has to go save the first members of the rebellion. But that isn't canon or anything, and this could be that's a similar situation to that, only this would actually be canon. And so then Ahsoka will go to a Star Destroyer or the original Death Star, and this will bring on a huge confliction for Darth Vader because he tried to protect her in the Clone Wars, and he sees the good in her and what she has accomplished as a Jedi, and he sees everything that he wanted so much when he was a slave and a child in Ahsoka, and how when Anakin was maturing, he leaned toward the dark side and fell towards that, and when Ahsoka was maturing, she turned more towards the light and became more mature and wise. They were the same person. They were both very rebellious, but they both went down extremely different paths. Then I want Vader to tempt her to the dark side and start trying to persuade her, because he does care about her, but he wants her to believe in his ideology like she always had before she left the Jedi Order. She wants to turn him, but she knows she has to look past the friend she remembers and realize that to save him, she has to build the team to support Luke later in life. She'll be fighting him, and it'll be a huge Jedi battle, and they'll be using the Force like crazy and everything. And she'll look over at the Ghost crew who are captured, and she knows who will die if she doesn't stop Vader. And she knows that they're the ones who can lead the beginning of the rebellion and bring them all together. Then what I want to happen is to realize the importance of what she is doing and fights ferociously to get the rebels out of there. Vader is angry and rageful. Ahsoka has turned against her just like Obi-Wan had and kills her in his rage. Obi-Wan was like a brother to him, and Ahsoka was like his sister in the Jedi Order. And now that he lost Obi-Wan's ties, and now that he knows what happened to Ahsoka, and that there will no longer be ties with her or the chance of that, he's going to be crushed. And it's going to be, he doesn't want to kill her. I want it to almost feel like an accident, but he can't feel like that, so he's going to be frustrated when he kills her too. It's going to be a buildup of anger. And then Kanan and Ezra see her die, and it will parallel Luke seeing Obi-Wan die later. So it will be a really emotional death for the whole crew because they looked up to her and respected her so much. Then the Ghost crew will be able to escape and jump to hyperspace and go meet up with the rest of the small rebel fleet. But then the Ghost crew will go to Alderaan, and they'll get to finally see Alderaan in all of its glory before it gets blown up. And then they'll go talk to Senator Organa and say, you didn't want to join us. Make up something that he didn't want to join. Didn't believe that anyone would be passionate enough in the cause. But then they'll tell the story of a Jedi who got killed by Vader, who opposed him greatly, and it'll bind the rebellion into one powerful group under Organa's, Kanan's, and Hera's rule. They'll be the main leaders, and will begin to be a more powerful force because of Ahsoka's sacrifice, and they'll bind together, and they'll finally be the full-fledged rebellion. But when they want to finish up Ahsoka or Star Wars Rebels as a whole, I feel like this would be the best way to show that Darth Vader is completely angry and is completely done with the light side, and that the rebellion has finally formed together, has become one powerful group and unit that will finally be able to completely oppose the Empire and will actually be able to complete feats like destroying the Death Star. Thank you for my thoughts on what I think should happen to Ahsoka. If you liked this video, like and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter @WatsoVideos. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.